Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the entire crew of Metro Area Sports Rap, I'm Todd Barnes and bid you a good evening. From beautiful Bandana Square in the capital city of St. Paul, Ringmasters Sports Club presents Fight Night Outdoors. Tonight, fighters come from as far away as Texas and Colorado, but none of the fighters are as close to the hearts of the people in this audience and in the city of St. Paul as the fighters from Minnesota. The bouts are going to be big. The bouts promise to be big. The crowd is already large, and the fighters' appetites are insatiable. Tonight, to bring us food for thought and colorful commentary, I'm joined by Willie Carter. Most of you know Willie Carter. He is an ex-professional fighter as well as a current professional trainer, and he runs now the Willie Carter Youth Foundation. Good evening.
Good evening.
We've had a lot of fun preparing for this fight. We're going to have a better time tonight. What can we expect?
We can expect some exciting fights tonight. Anytime that Rick Scales and Tommy Brunette and them get together and put on a boxing show, you know it's going to be an exciting fight. And all
right.
fights is equal.
What are you most looking forward to about tonight's evening?
Well, I'm looking to see Johnny fight because he hasn't fought in a couple of months, and I want to see how he's going to look tonight. Sometime, you know, your timing might be a little off, but I know Johnny is really sharp, so I just want to see him fight again. I'm always excited to see him fight.
All right, Johnny Montantes, of course, the headline fighter, and is well with me this evening, Otis Gage, who is currently the junior middleweight champion, 9-0. You're big time yourself, but out to watch other big time fighters. What do you think of the evening?
Well, I'm looking forward to an exciting evening. You know, I train with most of these guys, so I got to come out here and give them my support, and also offer some of my analysts on the fight.
We're excited about your analysis. We know you give the support to the other fighters. You have a lot of support from the fans who have come up and said hello to you tonight already. Let's throw it now ringside to Ryan Young and Mr. Brian Brunette.
Well, good evening and welcome, everybody. I'm Ryan Young along with Brian Brunette, and this evening we've got yourselves a big event, and you're guaranteed to keep your eyes glued to the TV as Metro Area Sports Rap Productions is proud to present tonight's main event, Jumpin' Johnny Be Good Montantes, out of St. Paul, Minnesota, here at Bandana Square. Joining me this evening is Brian Brunette, and Brian, an ex-fighter, going to the top yourself, working for the title there, doing a lot of things. This is going to be a big moment for you, a big moment for a lot of the boxers coming out of Brunette's gym and in St. Paul, but there's going to be a lot of interesting things in the fight card this evening, and you got to be looking forward to tonight.
Well, I have to say, Ryan, this has to be one of the most exciting nights of boxing in some time here in the Twin Cities. You know, with the main event alone, you could just have that as one show itself. Benji Marquez, Johnny Montantes. I don't know that you even need an undercard with that fight.
That's so true. We're going to be bringing you the play-by-play as well as the color commentary from the side here. But also joining us this evening on our broadcast is Chaz Millionaire. He's going to be bringing us the post-fight interviews. Throw it over to Chaz from KFAI Radio. My man Chaz, take it away.
Welcome to Metro Area Sports Rap exclusive coverage of Wednesday night fight night out at Bandana Square. We want to welcome you. My name is Chaz Millionaire as we get ready for the first fight of the night, and we're looking forward to seeing Harold Johnson from Milwaukee, Wisconsin against Pete King from St. Paul, local hometown talent, and it's a 4-round bout as we gear up for the Wednesday night fight night 94, brought to you by Metro Area Sports Rap. Let's kick it out ringside to Ryan.
Well, back down here, again, it's going to be a great event. We're going to throw it to the break. We're going to come back, and we're going to have the first fight of the evening as they get ready to perform a ceremony here with the 10 count. So we'll be right back. We don't want to cut this short. Stay tuned. Metro Area Sports Rap Productions will continue after this. Stay tuned.
right, we are back. I'm Todd Barnes again with Metro Area Sports Wrap, and I'm here with Willie Carter and Otis Gage. Willie, what can we expect from this first fight, Harold Johnson versus Pete King?
Well, it's going to be an exciting fight, you know. Anytime that you've got some pros making their pro debut, or they're fighting on the undercard, they're going to put out everything that they got. So you're expecting an exciting fight, you know.
What's at stake for the fighters tonight in this particular round?
Well, just get some experience. That's all they need, you know. 4 rounds is experience to get up to the 6th round, and from the 6th round to the 8th round, from the 8th round to the 10th round. It's all experience. That's all about in the pro range, you know.
All right, and somebody with a lot of experience, Otis Gage, what can we expect from Harold Johnson versus Pete King?
Well, you know, the main thing, like Willie said, they're two pros making their debut, so I expect for them to get at it early. I expect an exciting fight right off the bat. Expect, you know, plus they're heavyweights.
All right.
Always brings a little bit of excitement to the table.
For more excitement, let's go right now down to Ryan Young and Brian Brunette.
Well, welcome everybody ringside as we get set for our first bout of the evening. Good evening and welcome. Ryan Young along with Brian Brunette. We're going to be doing the ringside color as we get ready to bring you our first event of the evening. This is a 4-round heavyweight event featuring Harold Johnson out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, out of the red corner, versus Pete King out of St. Paul, Minnesota, in the blue corner. This a heavyweight fight and one of the first heavyweight fights we've seen, Brian, on the card so far.
Well, you know what's really unique about this fight here, Ryan, is that they're both making their pro debut. You got an amateur star like Pete King, who's boxed around the Twin Cities here for many years, and you got Harold Johnson out of Milwaukee. That, you know, Milwaukee area always turns out great amateur fighters. So anything can happen in this bout, Ryan.
Just underway in round 1. Pete King wearing the green and black trunks. In the red, black with stars and stripes is Johnson. Johnson connecting with 2 overhands.
I think what Pete has to concentrate on right now is tying him up, catching his wind a little bit. He looks like he was shook up a little bit with one of those right hands. He's got to work behind the jab and move to his left and stay out of the way of getting hit with one of those overhand right hands, because that's what Johnson's trying to do right now, is to set him up with one of those right hands. So Pete has to work off that jab. Tie him up right there, work out of it, and try to jab off to his left and stay out of the way.
Left hand and now a right landed. King and Johnson, and the referee will split them.
I had the opportunity to watch Pete King quite a few of his sparring sessions leading into this bout. He was working off his jab quite a bit, but he's abandoning it right now. He's just not working off the Ryan the way he should be.
Jerry Lagarde, the ref for this one.
There he goes.
King. Oh, big left hand landed. King bouncing off the ropes. And a lot of times fighters will use those ropes to their advantage.
Exactly. He's trying to work off the ropes. He's trying to get Johnson to fall into one of his shots.
Big left hand to the head. Johnson in trouble.
He's got him hurt right now. He's got to stay right on top of him.
Johnson changing his style a little bit now, Brian. King, another right to the head of Johnson.
Well, you got to keep in mind, a dangerous fighter, a hurt fighter is always a dangerous fighter.
And Johnson lands 2 blows to the head of King.
Actually, they're fighting this first round like it's the 4th round.
A lot of fighters try to feel themselves out in the first round. Heavyweights different from lightweight type fighters.
And they pace themselves a little more. You don't see as much action in the beginning of the fight.
Big right hand landed to the head of Johnson. And Lagarde's going to take the stand.
Johnson is hurt right now. What King has to do is jump right out at him. Hopefully he'll be able to get him before the round ends. And there you go.
And the end of round 1. What an exciting round. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. You're watching 4-round heavyweight match of Minnesota Professional Boxing, brought to you by Metro Area Sports Wrap Productions. We'll be right back.
for an answer when I reached out and found Narcotics Anonymous. I came to my first NA meeting in defeat. I didn't know what to expect.
Surrounded by fellow addicts, I realized I was not alone. I heard them talk about the same feelings I was afraid to share.
Recovery is what happens at NA meetings. It is possible to stop using drugs.
Call Narcotics Anonymous. We can help.
Welcome back to action here ringside. Just into round 2. And King got himself in a little bit of trouble. Fights off the ropes, and Johnson and King as we resume this heavyweight fight in round 2.
You know, I must say, Ryan, that I've seen Pete King fight quite a few times in the amateurs, and he fights very good when he's hurt. I mean, he recovers real well. He always comes back. I think right now it's anyone's fight, but I think if King starts dropping that right hand of his, he's going to hurt this Johnson and possibly even stop him.
Right.
This is a heavyweight 4 rounds. Johnson and King.
Shit on my screen, man.
To the body goes King.
It's sweating, one way five. Sweating.
Steam.
The strategy for a 4-round fight is basically what? Do you come out right away, or do you want to pace yourself, or how do you want to operate as a fighter?
Well, you can't pace yourself in a 4-round fight. You have to fight every round like it's the last one. But you have to concentrate on basically doing the things right that you've been working on in the gym, like working off your jab, throwing your right hand, coming back with your jab, your left hook. Just sticking to your game plan is what you mostly concentrate on.
Overhand miss by Johnson.
In a fight like this, they could very well have forgotten everything they worked on in the gym right after their first couple of exchanges. I think they just went to their drawing tactics, and now they're just letting it fly. There's that right hand we were talking about earlier.
Overhand right back to King. Big hit. He's in trouble.
Now King's hurt. What he has to do is cover up, get those hands up, get low, move those after, tie up his opponent right away. So you have to tie him up and stay low and avoid getting hit with another right hand. But the other, Johnson is also tired. He has to tie him up.
Big right. As Johnson continues to connect. Down will go King.
King gets up, he will survive. I've seen him hurt in the amateurs, and he does fight back.
Came back into it. Pacing themselves.
He's definitely a game competitor. He's hanging on right now.
And down goes King. And King still down in the corner. And they're now going to escort King back to his corner. Tough shots by Johnson. He disconnected a couple of
I'd have to say, Ryan, that he never really covered 100% of that first shot in the first round. I've seen Pete fight many a times. I've never watched Johnson fight, but it just looked like he never recovered from that first blow.
Mr. Harold Johnson.
Well, Mr. Harold Johnson will take the victory.
Let's hear it for Pete King, ladies and gentlemen. Pete King.
Harold Johnson out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin will defeat Pete King out of St. Paul, Minnesota. But again, a loss isn't always something bad, Brian.
No, the most important thing about a loss is that you don't get hurt. You can go back to the gym, work on what you did right and what you did wrong. And in Pete's case here, I think he got caught with a nice right hand in the first round, was never able to recover. You know, his first pro fight here in front of a lot of his hometown fans. He's probably a little excited. He banded his game plan a little bit, but those things happen. I look for Pete King to be back. I think he just needs a little rest. I think with the heat had a little bit to do with it tonight. It's going to be tough for all of these guys tonight to be fighting under these conditions.
So true it is. So Pete King will take the loss. Harold Johnson, the victor, out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We'll throw it now down to the side set with Todd Barnes. Todd.
All right, 2 minutes, 47 seconds. Harold Johnson takes the fight in the second round. What do you attribute the success to, Willie?
Well, I guess he was in a little bit better condition. That's the only thing you can contribute that to right now. You know, like young fighters, it's like whoever wanted it the baddest tonight, and I guess he wanted it a little bit better than the other fighter, you know.
All right, the youngest fighter who wanted it the most, Willie Carter says, Otis Gage, what's your read on the fight we just saw? Harold takes it in 2 minutes, 47 seconds.
I think the fact that Pete couldn't get off his jab, and this guy was very unorthodox. He threw punches from a lot of different angles, and I think that contributed to Pete's downfall. But like Willie said, they're both young fighters, and I expect to see Pete back in there and probably doing very well.
Well, he made a hell of a comeback during the first round there, and was going for it. What happened?
Well, I think what happened is you can't take too many straight punches. Good clean shots. If you're not offensively, you know, taking care of things, pretty soon the other guy's offense would take care of you. So Pete wasn't getting off with a lot of shots, and that was his downfall. You know, I mean, this guy was throwing a lot of shots, a lot of straight punches, and he was throwing them from all angles.
All right, we're going to talk to the person that was throwing them from all angles in a moment. Chaz Millionaire is standing by. Let's go right now to Ryan Young, though, ringside, and then over to Chaz.
Well, we're going to stand by here as they get ready for the next fight. We'll throw it down to Chaz Millionaire, who's been standing by with the post-fight interview. Chaz.
We're back live with exclusive coverage, Metro Area Sports Wrap. We're talking with Harold Johnson from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who just won the 4-round heavyweight fight. Can you tell me a little bit about? You seemed kind of slow getting started there, Harold.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about your style. It seemed to be a little unorthodox.
Right. Well, you know, I was kind of, out of shape for this one. You know, I really wasn't prepared for it. It was like a last-minute thing. I had to do what I could to come in with what I knew already. You know what I'm saying? What I'd done in the past. I had to go with that.
It seemed like Pete King, local from St. Paul, Minnesota, was giving you a little trouble in the going rounds. It looked like it could have went either way.
Right, but like I said, if one fighter's out of shape, then the other one is always going to be like that.
Okay.
But it's always a if and a but, to every fight. If you lose, you lose. You win, you win.
All right.
It's all, it's a toss-up.
Can you tell me a little bit about your training coming into this fight?
Well, I did my basic, jogging and push-ups, sit-ups. I'm saying nothing different, the same old thing I've been doing.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you taking time out, and congratulations on your victory.
Okay.
And
I appreciate
from all of us here at Metro Area Sports Wrap, we're going to kick it back to Ryan.
Okay.
Back here ringside, let's take it back to the action now as we get ready for our second fight of the evening. And this one featuring Clem Tucker Jr., the regulator out of St. Paul, Minnesota, versus Leo Valdez out of Denver, Colorado.
Well, here's Clem Tucker Jr., another amateur star here locally. As you can see, he's coming out quick. Always working quick in the amateurs. Came right out. We always knew that something was going to happen. Leo Valdez, I don't really know a whole lot about him other than I know the reputation of the Denver boxers. They're all tough and they come to fight.
There is a big difference between St. Paul boxers and Denver. They train in a little bit thinner air up there as well.
Right. That might make a difference tonight being outside. Seeing Clem coming outside.
Big hits by Clem Tucker being landed.
Again, 4-round fight, anything can happen. But I see what Tucker's trying to do right now is dig low, stay to his body attack, hope to wear Valdez down. That's, I think, what he's trying to do right now.
This one, a middleweight fight, set for 4 rounds.
As you can see Tucker now is trying to work off of that jab, throw the right hand in, and come back with his left hook. I had a chance to watch him in some of his training sessions this last week, and him and his father, Clem, they were working on the left hook quite a bit, digging it low, coming back up top. I see he's working it tonight. He's fine right there.
Big right hand landed by Tucker. Oh! What a shot by Tucker!
Beautiful left hook. He went downstairs, came right back over the top, turned it right over. I don't think he could have threw a better left hook, Ryan.
Nice left hook by Tucker.
It looked like Valdez was just getting set to throw one of his own when he got caught with that.
A move similar to when Jumpin' Johnny in the past, we've seen him go toe-to-toe with fighters. They get those hooks thrown. Just
exactly. Yep.
Eyes roll back as Tucker lands a right. And the ref is going to break this one up.
Before you get the ball.
What Valdez has to do right now is he's going to have to tie up Tucker. He's going to have to work off his jab and try to slow him down a little bit and break the action a little bit. He needs a little bit of a break here. Referee Beezer Benson, who's one of the finest here throughout the country, he's got a close eye on Valdez right now. You can see that he's not too far away from stopping it.
Tucker landing continual punches. It'll wear you down after a while, won't it, Brian?
Body attack, which Clem Tucker's working real nice. Keep in mind Valdez, you know, he's hurt, but he's trying to get through this first right now. I think that's it. That's it.
Leroy Benson's veteran ref.
Beautiful job on Tucker's part. Came right out, stuck to his game plan, dug the left hooks, came back to right hand. I think we're going to be seeing quite a bit of Tucker in the future.
Anytime you have a ref like Leroy Benson, he's not going to let that one go much longer. We saw Clem Tucker Jr. come out in his first fight, or actually his, an exhibition bout last time, but he did not look as tough as he did this time. Right?
Well, you know, exhibition bout is an exhibition bout. When boxer goes in the ring, he has that in the back of his mind. It still isn't the same as an actual fight itself. An exhibition bout and an actual fight are two different things in my eyes.
Okay, well, we've got some tremendous punches thrown here. Brian, take us through this replay as we take a look here at Clem Tucker now taking the victory with his first victory. Clem, the Regulator Tucker Jr. out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Father, actually, a boxer as well. Take a look at this replay, Brian, and tell us what's going on here.
As you can see, he threw that left hook perfectly, but up to that point, he was working behind his jab, throwing that short, straight right hand, and digging that left hook underneath. He was backing his opponent up with his jab, right hand, left hook. I think he followed his game plan perfectly. He couldn't have did it any better tonight.
So Clem, the Regulator Tucker, will move on. Out of St. Paul, Minnesota, he'll take his first victory and move to 1-0. As Leo Valdez out of Denver, Colorado, will take the loss. Clem, the Regulator Tucker, out of the BT Bombers as well. Camp training, though, with the Brunettes down there at the Brunette gym. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. You're watching Minnesota Professional Boxing from Bandana Square in beautiful downtown St. Paul. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We're back live with exclusive coverage with Metro Area Sports Wrap, Wednesday night fight night, and we're talking with the champion here, 4-round middleweight champ, Clem the Regulator Tucker Jr. Clem, I noticed that early on, it looked like you were trying to take him out right away, and all three knockdowns were with the left hook. Can you expound on that?
Yeah, I went out and I started using some little jabs here and there to see where his hands would go if I jabbed him low. Then I threw a right hand to see what he'd do. But what I kept seeing is that he kept dropping his right hand. No matter how he countered, he dropped his right hand. So I kept telling myself, okay, I'm going to go in and trade a couple left hooks with him, see if I hit him. And then the next time, the first knockdown, I faked like I was going to go in, and I bobbed and came around and caught him. So my father always tells me, whatever you hit somebody with, you'll catch him again. Just keep throwing a lot of them.
Exactly. Can you tell me a little bit about your preparation for the fight tonight?
It was like Desert Storm, man. It was hard. I got a lot of good fighters from Brunette, Teddy Soul, Hyde, Boyd, all those guys that you're going to see tonight, and they prepared me physically and mentally because of all the different styles. And I run 5 miles a day, 6 days a week. So I was really well prepared.
What's next in store for the Regulator?
Who's ever next. Don't matter who it is.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking time out. Congratulations again. Keep up the good work, baby, and we're looking forward to you. That's it here on Metro Area Sports Rap exclusive as we holler at the man, Clem the Regulator Tucker, local hometown talent. Let's shoot it back to ringside with Ryan Young.
Welcome back ringside. Ryan Young along with Brian Brunette as we get ready for the next big match. This one is guaranteed to be an exciting match as it features Darrin Wagner out of Rochester, Minnesota, and Boyd Davis out of St. Paul, Minnesota. This one, a 4-round middleweight fight. And Brian, we were speaking a little bit. This has a little history, this fight as well.
Well, this is what you could say is a real grudge match. Both these boxers met in the Upper Midwest Gold Club Championship, I believe it was 3 years ago. Darrin Wagner getting a nod by a very close decision. I think it was like a 3-2 split. Fight actually could have went either way. It was a very close fight. A lot of people thought Boyd Davis won. A lot of people thought Darrin Wagner won. What you're going to see tonight is, I think, a perfect example of a boxer and a puncher. Boyd Davis being the boxer, Darrin Wagner being the puncher. He's going to come right at Boyd Davis and try to force him into his fight plan, and Boyd's going to have to try to stick to his boxing plan, try to outbox Darrin.
Darrin Wagner fighting out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Or check that, Rochester. Boyd Davis out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Again, the two of these fighters have fought before, a lot of tradition. Have you ever been involved personally in a rematch?
No, the only time I'd ever been involved personally with a rematch is when I boxed myself in the amateurs. But other than that, no.
Any different preparations in watching the experience and working with the different boxers and preparing for a rematch? Is there more emotion? Is it more any concerns that comes into the mind of a boxer with a rematch?
I think one of the things that you have to really, that a boxer really thinks about is, you know, we met before. What did I do in the last fight that I could do better? What was it that I didn't do the way I should have done it? And you know, you see the fight in your mind thousands and thousands of times before you actually fight the fight. So there are advantages to already have boxed once.
Yeah.
This one's scheduled for 4 rounds.
As you can see right now, that it's starting off as kind of a cat and mouse game. Boyd working off of his jab, Darrin kind of sitting back. You have to remember, Darrin has extremely good punching power. I think what he's going to try to do is to have Boyd Davis fall right into one of his shots. I think he's going to try to time Boyd Davis, and Davis is going to have to work off his jab and get off quick.
Boyd Davis also, I had an opportunity of watching him work out when he was in the gym. He's got a different kind of style, almost a bird-like style at times.
Well, you know, his ring name is Peekaboo, and he does kind of get in a peekaboo crouch. He tries to get down low, sneak up, fire those jabs, and throw the right hand in right behind it.
In round 1, we're here at Bandana Square on a night where it seemed like it might start raining. We had to put bags over the cameras and secure all the equipment, but it's turned out to be not such a bad evening after all.
Well, Mother Nature's on our side, without a doubt. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Anything can happen in the state of Minnesota.
That's true, that's true. A lot of preparation and work put in by all the sides on this, and again, Ringmasters Sports Club bringing a quality fight. You've got to be impressed with the type of fights they put on even.
That's one thing about Ringmaster Sports Club. I think the people always get their money's worth. They know exactly what they're going to see. They know they're going to see fights. The shows keep growing. They're getting larger. Fights keep getting better.
I was speaking with somebody today, and they said the fights are outdoors. They can't get the crowd. I said, no, they're going to get the crowd. It's going to be a different environment, a better environment.
Yeah. It is. As you can see, the people are walking around. They got pop and beers in their hands. They're eating hamburgers and hot dogs and relaxing. They're visiting. They're seeing old friends. Some other friends they haven't seen since high school. It's a great atmosphere.
Well, the exchange.
So what I see here right now, Ryan, is I think they're both kind of thinking of their first time they had met. They're kind of getting off to a slow start. They're both being very cautious. Davis not using his jab the way that I think he should be. I think he's concentrating a little bit more on Wagner's punching power. He's being a little careful.
Coming from somebody who's never been inside of the ring, when you're in the ring and say, boy, Davis's situation or in Wagner's situation, what's going through your mind as you're looking at that fighter and trying to feel out their punches?
Well, what they're trying to do right now is, like you said, they met once before. Both, I think they're fighting a little cautious. Davis is trying to work off his jab, trying to get Wagner to sit back on his heels so he can double up that jab and throw his right hand. In the same hand, on the other hand, Wagner sitting back a little bit, hoping that Davis lunges in, gets caught off balance so he can counter back with one of his punches.
A couple more questions, but we'll hold those till we come back. We're going to take a break. When we return, we'll bring you second round action here from beautiful Bandana Square in St. Paul. We're outdoors. This is Fight Night 1994. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Round number 2 coming up, scheduled for 4 rounds, middleweight division.
And welcome back. Round 2 just underway. Do you suppose that maybe each fighter, Brian, is looking for the same thing, and maybe in Wagner's case, looking for something that he saw in the last fight that he won from Davis and looking to see if that's still there in Davis and trying to capitalize on that if it is?
Absolutely. You never forget that. If it worked for you once, it's going to work for you again. And they're both thinking that. I think what you're going to have to, or what we're going to see now is you're going to have to start picking up the pace a little bit because it is only a 4-round fight, and the one that I think the busier fighter in this bout is going to definitely come out ahead.
Peekaboo Boy Davis in the black and green. In straight black is Wagner. This is round 2.
As you can see in that last exchange, Wagner sat back and he threw a nice straight overhand right hand. He didn't catch Davis right on the chin, but you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get Davis to lean in and counter back with one of his shots. Davis cannot allow himself to get flat-footed with a type of fighter like Wagner. He has to stay on his toes and move, work off, use his boxing ability to his favor.
Now, are the conditions affected at all, being outdoors? Will that affect the fighters?
No, I think if anything, it's going to help the fighters. Fresh air, you don't have to deal with, you know, smoke, air conditioning. Now, this is the real deal, being outside. I don't think there's anything better than being able to box under these conditions.
How true. Nice night. It's probably about 75, probably more around 80 degrees. Humidity up a little bit. It's dropped a little. You can feel the cool breeze blowing across us here. Davis.
Right now, I have it a very close fight. I think they're both doing what they want to do, and I think what Wagner's trying to do is get him into a slugging match. Wagner and Boy Davis, on the other hand, is trying to stay out and use his boxing ability.
Now, there's a big difference between when they met in the amateurs. Amateurs more about points, professional more about the knockout or getting that victory.
They box at a much harder pace than the amateurs for a 3-round fight. They want to try to tally up as many points as you can in those 3 rounds. Here, it's not really much different. It's only a 4-round fight, so actually they should be fighting, you know, pretty much at the same pace. But now they're both pros. They're trying to maximize their strength.
Come on, Darrin, again.
Passing around, Davis. And Wagner goes to the body. And that'll do it for round 2. We'll go to the side set. Standing by is Todd Barnes. Take it away, Todd.
Boy Davis and Darrin Wagner.
End of round 2 with Boy Davis and Darrin Wagner. What does the fight look like to you so far, Willie?
Well, Boy got to get a different range on him. You know, he's kind of like wide. He's not on the outside. He's 2-4 on the outside. He needs to get a little close on the inside and be in an angle, you know. But he's doing good, you know.
All right. How about his handwork?
It's coming. It's coming. He's got good punching coordination. That's a stablemate of Mr. Gage over there. So, like, you know, these guys know what they're doing, you know. He just got a little jittery right now, you know. First time outside. That's what it is, you know.
It is the first time outside, but you're no stranger to outside. Otis, Gage, what do you think tonight?
Oh, it's a beautiful night for the fights, but I think Boyd needs to create some space with his jab and start throwing that right hand straight down the middle. and create some angles. Get out to the side of Darrin and get off his left hook and throw his punches in combinations.
All right, Otis Gage, Willie Carter. We'll go right back to the middle with Ryan Young and Brian Brunette as Metro Area Sports Wrap continues.
Back here ringside, round 3 underway. And the pace has got to pick up here, Brian, if either fighter wants to make this a decision either way or the other.
Right now, Ryan, I have it a perfectly even fight. I gave Davis the edge in the first round, and I think I gave Wagner the edge in the second round. So it's a very close fight here, and they're both going to have to work very hard to win the decision.
Well, off they go. They'll be broken apart, and Davis will reset. Oh, nice left landed by Davis. Now right. Davis's fighting style, when he goes to unload, it seems like he has to open up a little bit, leaving his middle a little bit open.
Exactly. He has to be careful, too, because Wagner has a very good short left hook. He might try to come right up underneath, right straight down the middle. But what Davis is doing right now, he's not showing Wagner any respect. He's going at him. He's sticking to his game plan a little bit. You know, he's not doing as much boxing as I thought he was going to do, as he was working in the gym leading up to this. But he's not showing Wagner any respect, and that's a good sign.
Ducks down, and they'll be broken apart. Leroy Benson, the official for this one. Great officials here as well, Brian.
I'd have to say the state of Minnesota has some of the best officials throughout the country. You got Denny Nelson, who I believe has reffed over 25 championship fights. Has his son Mark Nelson, who's a young upcoming referee. Beezer Benson, who's worked, I'm sure, well over 2,000 bouts. One of the finest in the country also. Jerry Lagarde working his way up, and you could go right down the ladder.
Digging in, Davis.
See, what Wagner's trying to do right now is to get Davis into that slugging match that he was trying to get earlier. And Davis has to be careful. He doesn't get flat-footed and get careless, get caught with any of those heavier shots. I think right now Davis should be on his toes, boxing, getting his combinations off and getting out of there and trying to outpoint Wagner.
On the ropes, Wagner. Trying to work at Davis, trying to work the midsection. And Davis connects with the left. Davis has got a pretty hard midsection.
Come on, Darrin, yeah. But they're both fighting the type of fight where you get in there, you're asking each other to cough it up. There's no break in the action. Digging down the body. A condition is going to play a big part in this turnout.
A loss of the mouthpiece, but he'll have to wait till the end of the round.
End of round 3,
and that's the end of round 3, and we'll keep it here as we get ready for round 4. What does each fighter need to do, Brian, in order for this fight to be taken by either Davis or Wagner? What needs to happen for each fighter?
Well, what's going to come down to is who wants it the most. Who's going to be busier this round? Who's going to land the cleaner shots? Who's going to be busier? I think it's going to come down to that. We have a very close fight going into this 4th round. I right now see it as anyone's fight. Davis, in my eyes, is going to have to come out, get off his combination, box very nice, and look very fresh. On the other hand, Wagner's going to have to get inside and dig down and try to work that body attack, come back upstairs.
Now, each fighter is going to want to try to keep as well themselves from getting involved in maybe a slug match or trying to think that this is the 4th round, but yet they still have to put it all into it because this is their last round.
They're both going to have to be very busy and score points.
So, being smart will be the technique here as we get ready for the 4th and final round. Davis in the green and black trunks, in the straight black is Wagner. Tied up and broken up and divided. Leroy Benson. Wagner. Davis will jab in.
That's what Davis has to do. He has to work off that jab. He has to come back with another jab. Double it up. Perhaps even triple it up. Throw that right hand and come back with another jab. He has to look busy.
Ducking down is Davis. It seems like the most consistent thing that comes from boxers and boxers analysis is you've got to work off of that jab, but it seems like one of the toughest things sometimes for a fighter to do.
The jab is your key weapon. It gets you in and it gets you out. It sets up everything.
Davis.
What Wagner's trying to do now is it looks like he's trying to set Davis up like he was in the first round. He isn't as busy as he was in the second and third round. He slowed the pace down a little bit. I think he's going to try to land a heavier shot and try to hurt Davis. She threw a nice right hand there. He just missed a little bit.
Now Davis fights back. Shots off and separated by Leroy Benson. Last minute of action here. Hate to be the scorekeepers for this one.
A very close fight at this point. It's still anybody's fight. I wouldn't want to be the judges in this one.
Wagner. And Davis unloads. They fought a pretty close fight, Brian, the whole way.
Very close fight. What's happening now is Davis has been Wagner played his fight. He's taking on a knee. Davis seems to have his confidence back. A little bit of burst of energy here in the last round.
Set up by the miss by Wagner. Davis comes off to land the shot. On the ropes, Wagner will push Davis. Work him inside. Davis trying to pop the uppercut. Wagner almost looks as he's getting a little tired here.
That's the end of the bout, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for these two fighters, Floyd Davis and Darrin Wagner.
They both box at a very fast pace. I think they're both a little tired. They're probably getting flashbacks of the amateur championship a few years ago.
Now, as we go through this scenario again, the judges rather are going to make a determination on who the victory is. How is that victory? There's a lot of boxing fans and growing boxing fans who aren't familiar with all the aspects. How are the judges going to make their decision now on who the victor is?
What they're going to look for is who is busier, who is throwing the most punches, who is under control, landing the heavier punches too, the clean shots. It's going to be a very tough fight to call. You know, perhaps even a draw. It could even be a draw.
Yep.
But like I say, I'm not sitting here judging, so it's a little bit different doing the commentating and judging.
Yeah. Well, we're going to stand by and wait to hear from Bob Peltier, the ring announcers, as they remove the gloves. You see there a full parking lot, full stands. Nice crowd here this evening. I don't see many empty seats.
We have a unanimous decision, ladies and gentlemen. And the winner is Boyd Davis. Boyd Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for Darrin Wagner, ladies.
Well, the first time they met, Darrin Wagner won in the Golden Gloves. Now, 3 years later, the decision will now be turned over to Boyd Davis. Sounds like the Minnesota-Iowa pig deal. Now it's just going to flip back and forth.
It only tells me now we're going to have the rubber match. Maybe another 6 months. They'll both go back to school a little bit. Maybe we'll see them here again back around Christmas or after the first of the year.
We shall see. We'll be right back. You're watching Minnesota Professional Boxing as Boyd Davis takes his exit. This is a great evening here. Great to be outdoors. You should be down here. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
All right, Metro Area Sports Wrap production. It is a production of Ringmasters, who is presenting this evening Fight Night as the clouds pass overhead right here in Bandana Square in the capital city of St. Paul. To my left is Willie Carter, a veteran of Minnesota professional boxing and a current champion in my mind. Willie, what did you think of the last fight, Darrin Wagner and Boyd Davis?
Well, I thought Boyd was a little tight tonight, you know, but then again, you got to give the other guy credit too, so they both was in there, but it was a good fight. It's another learning experience, you see. Each time he put on gloves, you get a little bit better, so Boyd was a little tight to me tonight, because I've seen him fight before, and his punches were sharp and crisp, but tonight it was a little slow to me, but he pulled the fight off. That's, you know, it goes down in the record book as a win, you know.
All right, and a win it does. It goes down in the record book, a win for Boyd Davis. What are your feelings on the last fight?
Well, you know, I think, you know, Boyd fighting a guy like Darrin Wagner, who's a very strong guy, has a very stiff jab, and sometimes, you know, that's hard to get past. And, you know, I think that posed a problem for Boyd tonight. He didn't really flow tonight. His combinations didn't come off like the Boyd Davis we know. But like you said, it's a win, and I'm sure Boyd will accept that. I think it's a very disappointing loss for Darrin Wagner.
All right, back to ringside with the team that knows boxing like no other team ringside, Mr. Ryan Young and Brian Brunette.
Well, a big fight there indeed. Boyd Davis, 3 years later, after losing the Golden Gloves, taking the victory here. We're going to throw it now over to Chaz Millionaire, standing by with their interview with the loser, Darrin Wagner. Take it, Chaz. Go ahead.
We're back live with Metro Area Sports Wrap exclusive coverage of Wednesday night fight night. And we're speaking with Darrin Wagner, a middleweight fighter out of Rochester, Minnesota. Can you tell me a little bit about how you felt about the way things went? It was a unanimous decision.
In the other guy's favor. It was rather disappointing for me. I know I unanimously won the 4th round. The first couple rounds were close, and I felt I outworked him. I worked him to the body, and I felt I won the fight.
Can you tell me a little bit about it? Like you said, it seemed to go even up the whole match.
That last round wasn't even. I felt I had the definite advantage in the last round.
Okay. What about your training regimen for gearing up for this fight? What did that involve?
Oh, three to 4 nights a week sparring and running every day. I was in shape. I was ready for this fight.
Okay. What can we look forward to from Darrin Wagner?
I would definitely like a rematch with Boyd Davis.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking time out. Much success in the future.
Thanks for interviewing me.
All right. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Now back to ringside. Metro Area Sports Wrap exclusive coverage of Wednesday night fight night. Let's go ringside with Ryan Young.
Well, back here, as you can see, we're going to get ready for the next event right around the corner. Miguel El Perro Loco Ramos. Stay tuned. Metro Area Sports Wrap Productions of Minnesota Professional Boxing, live outdoors from Bandana Square. We'll continue after a moment. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Barnes with Metro Area Sports Wrap. With me tonight, it's no surprise who's with me tonight actually. Willie Carter, a veteran to Minnesota professional boxing, and Otis Gage, a current standing champion, 9-0 in the junior middleweight league there. And right now we're getting ready to bring up Merle Muniz from Denver, Colorado, and Miguel Ramos from St. Paul. What can we expect from this fight, Mr. Carter?
Well, Miguel is a hard-punching dude, you know. This guy's so dedicated and so getting better each fight. I love watching him fight. Because I like to watch anybody from the Brunette stable, you know. Tommy, you got to give Tommy credit, Brian credit, that Al is back, Bobby's with him, so you don't need to say nothing about these guys in the gym, you know. We like to see the guy on my right to fight next time. He's a champion too.
That's right, Mr. Gage is a champion. Boxing is growing. We're in for a big fight if what Mr. Carter says is true, and of course it's true. What can we expect?
I'll tell you what, I love Miguel. I think he's like Mr. Carter said, he's one of the hardest workers in the gym. It's a guy that wins on just the will to do it. I mean, he's got power, he comes to fight, and one thing Miguel likes to do is rumble.
All right, we're not rumbling here, but willpower is no stranger to the crew of Metro Area Sports Wrap. We're proud to be here as Ringmasters presents Fight Night in Bandana Square. Back to ringside right now with Ryan Young and Brian Brunette.
Back here ringside, Ryan Young along with Brian Brunette, and this is the 4-round junior welterweight. Merle Muniz out of Denver, Colorado versus Miguel El Pelo Loco, otherwise known as Fighting Dog Ramos out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Miguel's got incredible power, Brian.
He's a very good puncher, and I don't think Otis Gage and Willie Carter could have said it any better. They described Miguel Ramos right to the T. He's one of the hardest training boxers you ever see, and every time he's in the ring, you're going to see something happen. But on the other hand, don't disregard this Munoz. He had a very good fight with Bobby Walker his last time in town, Irish Bobby Walker. He suffered a defeat, but on the other hand, you know, Bobby Walker was very sharp that night. He's a very tough competitor, and he comes to fight it. You can see here, he's digging down low, and he has fairly good punching power also. I think what you're going to see from Ramos is he's going to slow down a little bit in this fight. He's going to work off his jab, throw the right hand, dig underneath, come back with a little bit more of those power punches.
Working it in the white and black trunks is Muniz. In the green and white is Ramos. Ramos working into the body. On the ropes is Muniz. Nice body work.
You have to, you know, Ramos, he trains like a 15-round, 12-round championship fighter. He's in terrific condition. You can see he's digging those body punches very well. He's out. He doesn't want this fight to go into the second round.
Referee for this one is Jerry Lagarde. Ramos seems like as each fight comes along, as we've watched him now with a year of exclusive coverage, he seems to get stronger and wiser with each fight. Ramos, please bear with us as we deal with technical difficulties. Ramos taking it to the body. Now the uppercut. Ramos, overhand left, or right rather. Digging. And they're going to call this one. And Jerry Lagarde making a determination there to end it. That will give the victory to Miguel Ramos. Standing by on our side set is Chaz Millionaire with the victor from the last fight. Chaz.
Back live, talking with Boyd Davis, middleweight champion out of Minnesota, St. Paul. Boyd, can you tell me a little bit about how the round went? It seemed to go pretty even up all 4 rounds. It seemed like he was giving you a little trouble. Were you able to get your sweat up? Or?
Yeah, it was okay and everything, but we just had too much respect for each other, and I was just trying to jab and get out the way, because he do have a stiff jab. Just trying to jab and move and jab and move. That's it. About it. That's all I can do.
What? How was your training coming into the fight?
Well, the training was okay. I ran every day. I trained with Johnny Montantes, and I ran every day. You know, it's hard work.
Okay. We spoke with Darrin Wagner out of Rochester, who was defeated by you, and he said that he was interested in a rematch.
Oh, it'll be on. He can have the rematch, but it's gonna be different. I know that.
All right, what can we look for from Boyd Davis in the future coming up?
Oh, we can look for me getting ranked. That's about it. You know, more and more in boxing anyway.
All right, we appreciate you coming out, and keep up the good work.
All right.
From all of us here at Metro Area Sports Wrap, don't stop.
All right.
Take care. Back to ringside with Ryan.
Well, welcome back here. An exciting fight. Miguel El Perro Loco Ramos taking another victory here and moving on. Just doing this one in the first round. Mirley Muniz will move back to Denver, Colorado. Well, we're going to take a break, but you're watching Metro Area Sports Wrap Productions of Minnesota Professional Boxing here from Bandana Square outdoors in St. Paul.
Again after you get some more time to spar. In fact, he can come to Denver and fight.
We're back live talking with Mirley Muniz from Denver, Colorado, the junior welterweight. You were defeated by Miguel El Perro Ramos. Can you tell me a little bit about how you felt about the fight?
Well, I had a late notice, but I don't take nothing from him. I'd like to do it again if possible in Denver or here. Okay. I'd like a little longer notice.
Okay, it seemed that he was pretty overpowering in terms of the 4 rounds. What'd you think? Was his strength a problem for you?
He's probably is a little more powerful than me, but I think I could box better than him if I had a little more time to prepare. And I won't weigh 140, I weigh at least 135. I don't take nothing away from him. He's a good fighter.
Okay, well, much success in the future, and we appreciate you taking time out here at Metro Area Sports Wrap.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Back to ringside with Ryan Young.
Good job.
Bring me up. Hello? No.
His Honor, the Mayor of St. Paul, Norm Coleman, ladies and gentlemen, Norm Coleman. And also we have a police lieutenant from the city of St. Paul who is running for Sheriff of Ramsey County, Bob Fletcher, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Fletcher. Thank you.
We're back live talking with Miguel El Perro Ramos, from local from St. Paul, Minnesota. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm happy.
All right. Congratulations on your victory. It seemed like you were kind of overpowering in the fight. It seemed like you know the power wasn't matched too well.
Well, yeah. I feel good in this way. Usually I fight 147. This time I make 140 pounds. This tough kid from Colorado, you know, so I was ready for.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about what it took for you to get your training right and coming into this fight?
Well, see, I was supposed to fight 6 rounds tonight, but things change, you know, and hey, it no matter to me. I fight anytime.
Okay. What can we look forward to for Miguel El Perro Ramos in the future?
Well, first of all, I would like to win the title from Minnesota, you know, 140 pounders. And wherever, you know, wherever they come, I take it. First got, and we'll see what's up, you know.
Okay. And I know that we did speak with Merrill Munoz from Denver, Colorado, who you defeated this evening, and he stated he would like a rematch.
Oh, anytime, anytime.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking time out to speak with us here at Metro Area Sports Wrap, and keep up the good work and much success in the future.
Thanks a lot, man, and I appreciate this, and thanks everybody for this support, you know, and I want to say hi to everybody, my family, Kids Restaurants, and the whole St. Paul city. Thanks a lot.
Okay, there you have it, junior welterweight, Miguel El Perro Ramos. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Let's kick it back to ringside with Ryan Young.